after hours of work, I finally figured out how everything works and get a outcome that I was actually not expected as. So let's go through everything again. So this is reading the data. So here is our some so I take two column of original data, which is the race and then their opinion, everybody's opinion about like a race diversity is a good thing for America or bad thing for America. So you know, five is mostly weakness. Four is somewhat weakness. One is mostly a strength, and I'll tell you two is somewhat a strength, and three is equally a weakness and a strength. So three is a more neutral. Uh, the people who choose three is more neutral about racial diversity. And everything looks pretty same because I told you when I'm reading all these things are just basically characters. So a bunch of characters and I did tons of cleaning and turn them into a factor and then change the 1, 2, 3, 4 those things into a 1, 2, 3, 4 integers for me to better to understand to analyze. One thing I didn't really figure out yesterday when I was working on it is to filter. So because when I filter the table, I can definitely say filter T1 and the race equals to white, but I didn't know how to put a or in there. So in R, I don't know why it's only one stick because in C or in Java, I believe it's two sticks, but in R it's one stick. So gladly I figured that out. So I filter out all these big groups because for those small groups, I really cannot spend more time just cleaning them. And then I output this data to CSV and I change it into Python. So in Python, I'm more confident with working with analyzing these data. So reading this in and this, thank you for Elia and who who taught me how to use encoding. So the encoding for this is Latin/1. So even though I clean up most part of the data, there are still problems in this data set. For example, you see all these things are still integers. No, sorry, still strings. These 5, 4, 1, 2, 3 are still strings, and then there are this point A, some weird thing in there. So what I did is basically, so if in the index number for the first, like if they're in the group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strings, change them into integers, and if it's something else, I'll give a neutral idea. But actually, so people with this value in their as their opinion only have like 20 people in there. So since we have 2,000, I don't think those people are gonna affect our outcome significantly. So yeah, no. So this is finally the default and the DF, the data frame, whatever you call it. So it's finally clean data for us to use. So what I did is group them by and make them into the histogram. So there are 5 histograms. So for us to better understanding, I put them in a different code chunk. So yeah, just put an Asian data frame, the white people groups data frame, black people's group frame, Caucasians, Hispanic. So here are each individual ones, and I find out, except for Asians group, every group there are actually some more people, some or higher percentage of people who think the racial thing is a racial diversity is a weakness because you can see all these bars is higher, higher than Asians group. So their proportion in other groups are pretty high. In the which in let's see, in this group Caucasian, which is a little bit too high for them, but since they identify them as Caucasian, so you can expect them to have some a little bit of opinion about racial diversity. And let's look at the data. So I took the mean, group by the mean, and so remember 5 is a weakness and 1 is a strength. So which means the higher the mean is, the most bad this group. Not I'm not calling every individual, but as a group, they think the diversity is more a problem. So you can see here, and these group are definitely have a higher average number, because this is 2.3, and while this is only like 2.08, it's not even 2.1, it's 2.2, 2.5, and the Hispanic has a little bit higher. So which is really unexpected outcome for me, is because I actually thought this number will get higher than anybody, but eventually, so this group has while white people group has the biggest opinion about racial diversity, which is unexpected. So yeah, that's what I find out through the data set, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.